A lot of ACCA students wonder, how do you get a rank in the tax paper, which is the UK variant. Now, let alone getting a rank, a lot of students, I'm sure, even wonder how to pass the paper. So, in our today's session, we're gonna go over some of the very important exam tips which has helped my students at FPA get a rank. But before we do that, like always, thank you so much for all the love, all the comments, all the likes that you've been giving me. We are now 3,000 plus, so a big thanks to you for sharing my videos so much. And I am hoping that by doing videos like the ones today, we should be very soon reaching the 5,000 milestone as well. So thank you for doing that. Now, if this is the first time you've come to the channel, can I request you please hit the like and subscribe button and the bell icon, and I assure you I only do videos that will help you in your ACCA journey as well as your overall finance and accounting journey. Now, the topic for today is how to get a rank. Now, to be honest, I am not someone who runs after the rank. Of course, it is always nice that your students do well, and I've been lucky that some of my recent students who sat the December 23 and the March 24 quarters, we were able to get ranks, the world rank, like Ayush, who got 100 out of 100, Krisha, who got a 93 out of 100. We had Vraj, who got a 90 plus in tax paper and got a rank. So it is possible. Of course, I will not take it away that these students did not do a lot of work. In fact, all the efforts that they put in were the real reason why they were able to get the rank. However, there are certain things that you can do to make sure that you not only pass, but you are able to get very good marks, right? Now, the first thing, which is what I say, getting the easy marks which are there in the question paper itself, right? Which is for the section C. Make sure that whenever you have in section C, for example, you've got a income tax computation or a corporate tax computation, wherein you have to make the skeleton and you have to put in the numbers, whether it is income, whether it is expense, or whether it is allowable, disallowable. Make sure that you are able to get all the easy marks over there. Now, what are these easy marks? You should know that when you do a skeleton, I'll start with a very simple, let's say it's an income tax computation, and you're supposed to put in the employment income amount, and then you have to calculate all the benefits. Now, just putting in the salary amount, which is, let's say 100,000, right? You just put that 100,000 pounds in there and you get a half a mark there. The same is the case with, let's say, if they have a bonus and it is given to you that in this tax year, the employee got XYZ amount as salary, XYZ amount as a bonus. Just by picking up those amounts from the question, pasting it in your skeleton gets you these one very easy mark. So half a mark for salary, half a mark for a bonus. And that is how you capture all the easy marks available, whether it is for income tax, corporate tax, capital gains, inheritance. Because trust me, and I've been teaching tax for the longest of times, I can assure you that there are plenty of opportunities to grab these easy marks, right? I don't want to put a percentage that every question has that, but I do know for a fact that every question will have a few very easy marks like these. Then moving on to a slightly trickier marks, which is to do with the calculations. Now, let's say, for example, coming to employment benefit, and if you are supposed to, let's say, calculate a car benefit, right? And you are supposed to use the emission level, and you have to figure out what that percentage is. Even if you've not calculated it correctly, but just by putting in that structure, which is, taking whatever the emission levels are, and you are deducting that from the allowable and then calculating how much is taxable, that process also will get you some marks. Not all of it, of course, if you've not done it correctly, but let's say if you are able to take that standard 16 percentage points that is there, and then you calculate whatever is the excess emission, and then you divide it by 5. Even if that partially is correct and partially is incorrect, you still end up getting some marks. How is that? First of all, it is step marking. So every step that you do, get a half a mark or maybe 1 mark sometimes. And then, which is the next thing which I want you guys to start using to get good marks, is use the own figure rule. For example, if you do not know how the next step works, just put in any number you want to and just move on. Do not, for example, there are, let's say, 5 benefits that you have to calculate and you do not know how to calculate, let's say, any benefit. Now I can't think of any tricky benefit, because for me I feel that employment benefits are not the toughest of them. But let's say if there are any benefits that you feel, let's say it's the asset benefit, right, and you are not able to calculate when it is gifted to you what was the market value or whatever was the deduction that needs to be done, at least just do some steps over there, right, so that you can get that step mark, half a mark, 1 mark, whatever, and you are able to get your golden 50 marks or a 50 percentage in the section C. Because look, that's how you pass the paper. You only have to make sure that you are getting right 50% of the times. So from the 40 marks, you get the 20 there, you get 20 in section A, you get 15 in the section B, and you are sorted, right? So please make sure that you do not get too bogged down whenever you look at any tough adjustments, any tough questions. If you find any tough questions, my advice to my student is always ignore it. Do not even think about for a minute that this is too tough, I don't know how I will do it. Just move on. Use your own figure rule, complete the sum. If you get time, always try and come back. But it is absolutely okay if you're not able to do that one adjustment, because you should not let that adjustment impact the rest of your paper's performance. So the same is the case with, let's say, section B. If you are doing section B, you find one of those scenarios not in line with what you thought, just skip it. If you thought one of the questions in there is not something that you did not do, forget it, right? Move on. The point being that you need to complete the paper, look for the easy marks, look for wherever you can do a structure and get those easy marks in, and use your own figure rule. I assure you, the reason why we are able to get a much higher passing rates versus the global average is because of these things that we do, right? So if you want to get a rank, of course, or even if you want to just make sure that you pass the tax paper, you do these things, and I promise you, you will be able to crack the exam. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please make sure that you share it with your friends and your network. I've done multiple other videos talking about what are the things that you need to cover, or what are the things that you should cover. Maybe you can refer to that video as well, which is more of a general video, right? But please make sure that you continue to reach out to me if you have any doubts at all, and if there are any further topics you would like me to cover. On that note, all the very best, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.